Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. We have a lot to talk about. The Cpac speech today by President Trump was amazing. Exposed so many things and basically ended the Mueller probe the way it should be ended. The Mueller report isn't going to list any evidence that Trump worked with Russia because he didn't. That is the most absurd theory. Simply saying that, oh, well, the intelligence officials agree, that's not evidence. You have no clue. Well, we can go on forever. The point is, I will get to President Trump's speech. I'll get to all of that in a moment. Please share my article in the Federalist. And this is very interesting. Thank God I'm not on Twitter. So I am not on Twitter. Okay, there are a couple parody accounts of me. I am not, repeat, not on Twitter or Facebook or Minds or Gab or any social media. The only thing I have is a BitChute account and, of course, my YouTube channel. But I have to tell you this before we get started. This is so hilarious. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams and support this independent voice, and I appreciate it. I find it very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that when I say in my Federalist article why Bernie supporters should vote Trump 2020, you get people, this is kind of hilarious on Twitter. They don't, on Twitter, there's no intellectual back and forth. It's just you fit a certain category. If you don't fit nicely into that category, oh my God, you were never serious to begin with. The Huffington Post called me the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet. The Washington Post called me the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters. Okay, nobody back then when I was on the left. And by the way, I had been published around 100 times prior to when I wrote about Bernie Sanders in the Huffington Post. But one person, this is fine, says, I hope no one on the left is listening to H.A. Goodman. His writing for the Federalist and disseminating propaganda. No, I'm not. I am writing for thank God I'm published in the Federalist and the Jerusalem Post and the Daily Caller and all these wonderful places. But I love the Federalist. My article below is in the Federalist. It's a great publication. But these are my thoughts. And why Bernie Sanders supporters should vote Trump 2020. The article explains why. There's no disagreement. People are talking about this on Twitter, this article. There's no disagreement. There's just, oh my God, can you believe it? No intellectual disagreement. Really, really quickly. Then somebody said, so he was always sheepdogging or did he go over the edge? Well, I wasn't. It's neither. I came to an intellectual vantage point. There's no moral basis to vote Democrat now if everything about Trump is linked to some theory or he represents this or he worked with Russia. The only negatives about Trump is that, well, his peace talks with Putin didn't work out. Well, did Obama's peace talks with Putin? Oh, that's right. Obama didn't have any peace agreement, any chance at peace. So then one person's like, oh, I feel like a sucker because I like them or whatever. It's like, no, people change their vantage point. That's the point that I'm trying to communicate in this article. People change their vantage point. It's very logical and rational to go from Bernie 2016 to Trump 2020. You have a president who signed prison reform legislation that Van Jones called a Christmas miracle. You have a president who's bringing home Americans from never-ending conflict. Now, the rebuttal is, he's not doing it. It's going to take a while. Or he says he's keeping them there for a certain time. Look, he initially stated he wanted to bring home Americans. The pushback was immediate and profound. People on Democrats and Republicans said, you can't do that. You can't do that. Even Bernie Sanders said it has to be an orderly withdrawal. What drives me is bringing home Americans back to their families, to their children, to their sons, to their daughters. Okay, that doesn't drive people on the left. When I was on the left, nobody cared about that. So then the person, always sheepdogging. How do you know? You talk about sheepdogging. That's what certain groups do on the left. No matter what, they'll vote for Clinton 2020. She's going to run. And then people are complicating, and deciphering intentions and motivations are even more so. I don't blame anyone. I just want them to stop if they are still listening to his. It's not a matter of listening to me. It's a matter of, do I make sense? The article makes sense. But then he goes, he lost his mind and other people. So this is interesting. Oh, then people who so thank goodness. Oh yeah, I fell for it because the people fell for it because I was this fraud. Horace, congrats on another great article as well being published in the Federalist. Thank you, Horace. Thank you. Thank you very much, Horace. No, I am so proud of that. And it's just so interesting how the rebuttal is not, oh, these points I disagree with you on. The rebuttal is, he was always a leftist fraud. He could never have been. Why did people even believe me? And you know what they're doing? They're using my name to insult other people. And the same people, because I see that one, that's just one thread. There are a lot of people in that thread, or, well, let's just put it this way. There are certain people in the thread. It's just, okay, I won't even get into it. There's a lot of different, then there's like, oh my God, can you believe what? And so a whole bunch of people are talking about my article on Twitter without any intellectual discussion because they can't say he's a bad president. They can't say that Black and Latino unemployment are at record lows. They can't say that he wants to bring home Americans from war. They can't say that's not true. They can't say that peace between North and South Korea isn't the beginning of peace isn't happening. They can't say that. They can try to, and it'll sound petulant. Whereas President Obama came, actually, there was no chance for peace between North and South Korea and the United States of America. And Clinton would have wanted to rank China with missile defense. So then people on the left, and there are people on the left who dislike me, but also think that Bernie Sanders himself is racist and misogynist. So you can never, and then those people, by and large, a lot of them will vote for Clinton 2020 because she's running again. So I just wanted to really quickly, before we get to Cpac, I love the buzz and the discussion this article is getting because it gets people, Horace, thank you again, it gets people to simply in a kind of instinctual reaction to do what they've always done on Twitter, especially on the left. Make sure that the groupthink is thick and strong. And if it's not, oh my goodness, anyone who evolves or thinks differently or has a different vantage point, they were never true to begin with, and it was always a plot on their end. Meanwhile, you can look at my Huffington Post author page, and there's, in terms of value system, of course, some has changed, but not much. President Trump is a great president, especially if you liked Bernie Sanders 2016, and I explained that. And the Cpac speech, great. It was a great speech and actually resonates with Bernie. It would resonate with Bernie 2016 voters, even if, let's put it this way, even if you don't agree with Trump on a lot of things, it would still resonate. That being said, and let people know, if they want to contact me, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Contactgoodman78@gmail.com. They're going to cheat Bernie Sanders again. And when it happens, so like one person thinks that one person thinks that, so they, okay, like on Twitter, this fake profile that is illegally trying to share my books, which is hilarious. So one person contacts, well, hilarious and illegal. Of course, I want that person to stop what he's doing. But anyway, one person contacts the guy, say, "Are you okay? You must have." So some guy thinks that this fake profile is me. Are you okay? You must have a migraine with all the mental gymnastics going from Bernie to Trumpster. I used to think you were a savior for the left. What happened? Well, that is actually really wonderful that anyone would think anything nice of me, but that person is responding to, or that person is asking a question of a fake account pretending to be me. So, and then and then the fake account says, you didn't actually think I was ever a Bernie supporter. The game plan for 2016 was Team Trump was simple. Do you say anything to peel off actually Bernie voters from voting for Hillary? That was my job, to peel off people from voting for Hillary. Oh, what a great analysis. And it worked. I've been pro-Trump from the get-go. So now the spin is, I've always been pro-Trump. And you know what? I don't care. That's the great thing about being a Trump supporter now. I don't have anything to live up to. Obviously, it's foolish to think that I was pro-Trump from the beginning on MSNBC, CNN, getting a hit piece written on me by Daily Beast and a whole bunch of other people. One blog like literally obsesses over me. Reddit would like every single day try to tear me down. Why would I go through that? I could have just said, oh, I'm a Trump supporter from the beginning. Of course, I was on the left. Bernie Sanders wanted to bring home Americans from counterinsurgency conflicts. He wanted to shake up the system. He wanted to really fight a corrupt system. Guess who's doing that right now? President Trump. Guess who didn't do that? Bernie Sanders. Guess who got in bed with the same people who cheated him, then blamed Russia, then told him also that he was never cheated, but blamed Russia for informing us that they were cheating him. That was Bernie. Bernie got in bed with the same people he wants to fight. Trump is fighting these people. So, Eric H526, H.A. Durant. Yes. H.A. derangement syndrome is on the rise. It is. So it's all good. Like, if you're on Twitter hating on me, I actually really like that. I do. A lot of people are still hating on me, and I love it. I love it. Because it shows that nobody can actually, only one person tried to actually engage and said, oh, sigh. The working plan is that troops are going to come home 3 to 5 years. Okay, that's still better. Thanks for explaining why I was right. Ram Lafara, hello. And to my Bernie supporters who listen, to people who still watch me, who are Bernie, look, I love you. I have nothing. I was on there. Look, you're going to get a lot of hate. You're going to get a lot of, they're going to call you Trump supporters in about 1 week. Bernie Sanders, or maybe 2 months, 3 months. Bernie Sanders, his supporters are going to be viewed as Trump supporters in after the first primary. If Bernie does not win, what's the primary schedule? So we'll get to Cpac in a second, but I have to address this because I'm not on social media, and thank God I'm not. And I've spent all day defending myself. It's a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. But the Democratic primary is going to be rigged again. Clinton, by the way, is going to run. And let's look at the schedule. Okay, so 2020 primary schedule, okay? I want to just tell you something. Let me show you something. Okay. They put California. California's March 3rd. Okay, with Alabama. Okay. Bernie could win Iowa, although the way they rigged the Iowa caucus, okay, New Hampshire, Bernie can definitely win. Nevada, he's not gonna. Nevada is like they cheated Obama in Nevada. Okay. They cheated President Obama in Nevada. Nevada politics, Democratic politics is like Tammany Hall, just like New York. But here, Super Tuesday, then it's South Carolina. So Bernie's not going to win Nevada because I'm not even talking about his chances in a fair primary. I'm just saying that what they do is they cheat. And they even cheated President Obama in 2008. Okay, we can go through that, and I've spoken about that. So Iowa caucus, the way Iowa is with the coin flips and everything, they'll cheat Bernie. New Hampshire, Bernie could win. Nevada, South Carolina, he's not going to win. Then Super Tuesday, you get Alabama and California. Hello, California is not going to go for Bernie. Even look, New York didn't even go for what's her name? What's her name? Cuomo won, and she was like a copy of Bernie. Who was this? Okay, so hold on. Cynthia Nixon. She lost by like 800,000 votes in New York. Okay, California, Alabama, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee. Oklahoma, he could do okay. In Tennessee, Texas, Vermont, he'll win Vermont. Virginia. Okay, the establishment Democrat, it'll be Clinton, will win. And the reason I say this is because now I know that it's a rigged primary. I didn't think it was rigged in 2016. I did not think it was rigged in 2016. I thought it was a fair primary. But the Russians let us know that it was rigged. And by the way, it was not rigged. See, that's what they say. Michael Cohen said this, like, who cares? Tuesday, March 3rd of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Alabama, California. Alabama, California, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia. There's no chance Bernie wins any of those states. I don't say this with like hate or negativity in my heart. And I'm not trying to diss anyone who is voting for Bernie now. I'm not doing that. At this point right now, I don't think that Bernie Sanders is an honorable man for what he's doing. He knows very well they'll cheat him again. He's raising money from people who actually, I believed. I was a true believer. And if people think that I was, it's my master plan to peel, to take impressionable leftists away from Madam Hillary, then that's ridiculous. And they're going to be roaming Twitter, hounding people on the left like they usually do anyway. The life of certain people on the left is to live to insult people on the left. That's it. They live to insult people. That's it. It's it. Then when Clinton announces running, they'll all vote for Clinton. But this is Tuesday. And then Saturday, March 7th, Louisiana. So they packed all the southern states and all the major states in the Northeast. And then California, they packed the Democratic powerhouse states. The Super Tuesday has California. California was at the end in 2016. You have Alabama, California. You have Texas, Alabama, California. There's all the votes now. You're basically the Democratic primary is going to be decided March 3rd. Without a doubt, case closed. And you're not going to get Amy Klobuchar winning. She won Minnesota, and then she also won California, Alabama. No. Clinton's running again, ladies and gentlemen. You think they're just going to have 10 different winners for 10 different major states? I have the pulse of what's going on. Even with the troop withdrawal, people are like, "Oh yeah, he's not withdrawing troops." Why not? Because he got pushed. Because he can't. The guy can't do anything. Trump can't do anything. He can't even have a peace plan without people saying it didn't work. It was a photo op. It was petulant. Everyone's petulant. So Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina. He might win New Hampshire. He'll be 1-3. And then he won't win Alabama, California, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas. He'll win Vermont and Virginia. He will have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Out of 14 states, he will have won 2, possibly 1. So from February 3rd to March 3rd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If it was fair in 2016, he would have won the Democratic primary. I was right about that. And even Noam Chomsky states that. He would have won in a fair primary. He was a threat. He was an obstacle. He got hit pieces. Deborah Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. And it wasn't a fair primary. And the DNC fraud lawsuit shows that. And the DNC lawyers, I mean, that's why I always bring up with respect Jared Beck and Elizabeth Beck and Nico House. $200 million taken from Bernie Sanders voters. 14, you're going to have 14 states. He's only going to win about tree climbing. Thank you. He's only going to win maybe 2, possibly only 1. Then you get Louisiana. Then Tuesday, March 10th, Mississippi, Missouri, Ohio, Michigan. Then Tuesday, March 17th, you get Arizona, Florida, Illinois. These are the bigger the state, the bigger the Democratic Party. Ladies and gentlemen, to the people who are voting for Bernie, God bless you. I don't have any hate or disrespect. I'm not dissing anyone. Every state, the bigger the state, and especially if it's like California or New York or Texas, the bigger the Democratic fundraising and the Democratic Party is. You are not going to defeat that, and I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way in 2016 because I was very idealistic. That's why people are like, yes, this is planned to get Bernie voters to vote for Trump. It's like, no, I did my own thing, and if what I did made sense to people, that's fine. If what I did didn't make sense, that's fine too. People are so afraid. Like, the Russians influenced you. Like, no, do you have a brain of your own? Democrats obviously don't have a brain of their own. The Rush, you like punk music. You like heavy metal because your friends are influencing you. No, I like punk and heavy metal and rap music because I like the music. Not because my friends were influencing me. It's like Democrats are like this overbearing parent. Like, what's happening to my son, my daughter? It's like, well, they like certain things. Not necessarily bad. But you can just look really quickly, and then we'll get to Cpac. You can look. Let people know I am not on social media. No longer. But, okay, hold on. Was it Brooklyn Votes 2016? New York primary hit voter issues. Brooklyn purge. Sanders campaign, New York officials cry foul after New York voters report issues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to happen. It's already happening. It was at a CNN town hall. It's already happening. Bernie Sanders campaign, this is 2016. Bernie Sanders campaign on Tuesday called reports of voting irregularities in New York State a disgrace, as local officials rushed to condemn a city board of elections for stripping more than 125,000 Democratic voters from the rolls. This is in Brooklyn. Didn't he announced today in Brooklyn? It's absurd that in Brooklyn, New York, where I was born, tens of thousands of people, as I understand, have been purged from the voting rolls. There ain't nothing you can do about it, Bernie, and you know that, and you're still taking money. I don't understand why. I don't understand why even like in the CNN town hall where, yeah, to Bernie supporters, he did very, very well, obviously, but he still was cheated there. You had Democratic Party officials ask questions. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like at this point right now, people don't have to become me. I'm not saying become me. I'm saying at least. My buddy Sean, thank you. I say I don't understand something. I get the people who still love Bernie. Fine. I'm cool with everybody who still loves Bernie. I don't have any problem. I'm a Trump supporter. I don't have any problem at all. But at what point do you look at a politician and say, "Are you in it to win it?" If you're not in it to win it, meaning if you cheat me, I'm not going to play ball. Meaning you better not cheat. Meaning if you cheat, I'm going to give find a way to get my give donations back to my voters if you cheat. How can you accept money from people who are idealistic knowing that you're not going to win? Knowing that you're not going to win California, knowing that you're not going to win New York or Texas. The Republican primary. Look, the Republicans in 2016 were different. They knew that Trump would retaliate. They knew that Trump would retaliate, and they said, "No, what? No way. We cannot cheat him. If he's cheated, his voters and Trump will destroy the entire political party." Not so with Bernie. "I'm tired of talking about her emails," which, by the way, at Cpac was all about everything that I talk about every day. The Mueller probe was, you know what? I can't say it on the live stream, but it was brilliant. I have an upload. Please check out my upload where I talk about Cpac. Today, he let loose. He let loose today, and it was beautiful. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And of course, he slammed Jeff Sessions, and of course, he definitely big time slammed Mueller. I mean, what he did today was very, very, very good. Look, there needs to be some kind of passion or enthusiasm. Hello, Carrie. Thomas O'Connor, hello. Thank you for watching. And thank you to Carrie for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate both of you watching this live stream. Thank you, Thomas O'Connor and Carrie. Thank you so very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my my YouTube segment from the last segment. I mean, the last from the upload regarding Cpac. But I mean, he went after Jeff Sessions today. He explained that sometimes you just let people, you stick by people. Thank you, Eric H526. You stick by people too long, or you appoint the wrong individuals. Jeff Sessions did not tell Trump he was recusing himself. Trumpy, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to recuse myself. This is all done in love, by the way. Like 1 out of 1,000 people don't like the impression. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to recuse myself. In 2 years, you'll be tormented by the same people who tormented Bernard Sanders. Bernie Che Guevara Sanders. I hope you don't mind. I have a great person for Deputy Attorney General. He's going to start a special counsel on a Steele dossier that says that, well, how do I say this? Bodily fluids rained upon you in Moscow. I don't know. I make no judgment if you like those things. Who am I to judge? Brett, I love you, buddy. If I only keep preaching the truth, brother. Brett, Liebig, thank you. Thank you, Brett. Thank you very much for always watching. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the kind words, and thank you so much for your support, Brett. Thank you. But he clowns Sessions today, Jeff Sessions. The MySpace. As you can see, circle Sessions, and then this, and then that, and then as you can see, he's like he even does the H.A. Goodman impression of Sessions. Brett, thank you. Brett Liebig, thank you. And he finally let loose today. Like, normally people are like, oh my God, Trump on Twitter. Well, I long for the day where Obama destroyed Libya and was presidential about it. Obama destroys Libya, is presidential about it. People like on the left like, oh, he's so great. Trump is like on Twitter. He's like all over the place, but he's presiding over peace between North and South Korea, and he's bringing home Americans from never-ending conflict. And oh my God, he's not presidential because of Twitter. But I say let loose, man. Let loose. You know, use expletives, whatever. And he needs to start doing that. Then what will happen is Amy Klobuchar will try to do that, and or Elizabeth Warren, and it won't work. It'll backfire, which will be hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, we're close, like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months away from a special counsel announcement or some kind of major investigation announcement into people who actually committed crimes. I mean, you have people who actually did commit crimes, you know. Oh, and by the way, Michael Cohen never went to Prague. So there you go. Never went to Prague. Never went to Prague, Czech Republic. Never went there. Never went there. Never went there. He never went there. Okay? Never went there. He never went there, ladies and gentlemen. So, at the end of the day, what do they have? They have nothing. I mean, honestly, what do they have? They have nothing. What do they possibly have? Max Deplorable. I would love to see you debate Bernie in your Bernie voice while wearing a Bernie mask and moderated by Deborah Wasserman Schultz. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm you. You're not you, you're me. I'm me. Deborah Wasserman, I would like to thank Deborah Wasserman in advance for cheating me. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm experiencing it even before the Democratic primary. Thank you for cheating me, because I know it's going to happen. Bernard Sanders, my new name is Rico Suave, and if Beto O'Rourke runs, that's all she wrote. If that guy Beto runs, that's all she wrote. I will be so upset and annoyed if Beto O'Rourke tries to steal my thunder. That's it. People on the left like, he did everything. It was a plan. He was just trying to deceive impressionable people. H.A. Goodman. H.A. Goodman. He's a horrible human being. Then, like, one of my buddies today is like, how do you go from Bernie to Trump? I said, well, read my Federalist article, and that'll explain it to you. like, how do you go from Bernie to Trump? Very easy. Very easy. If foreign policy is the number one priority, then you definitely go from Bernie to Trump. End of story. You do not vote Democrat. End of story. If foreign policy, bringing home Americans, if peace talks with major adversaries, if that's a huge deal, then you vote for Trump. Forget about everything else he's doing. Also, if you want to stand up to what essentially is the Praetorian Guard, today's Praetorian Guard in the U.S. In Rome, they were corrupt, and in the U.S., they're corrupt now. These intel chiefs. You think James Brennan or John Brennan or James Clapper? You think they're worried about They're not worried about all of these intel people are not worried about Bernie because at the end of the day, if he gets cheated, everyone in his campaign, look, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a repeat of 2016. By the way, Clinton's running again. So the Cpac and the Cpac convention also kind of not only did he go after Sessions, but he went after Mueller. And we learned basically from Michael Cohen that there is no evidence. There is no evidence of anything. 6 things we learned. This is a great article in the Federalist. 6 things we learned from Michael Cohen testimony. He was never in Prague, never in the Czech Republic, which is what the basis of the Steele dossier. Cohen says Trump did not direct him to lie under oath. That was a BuzzFeed article debunked by Mueller himself. Cohen admits he has no evidence of Russian collusion. There you go. Cohen accused Trump of knowing that whole nonsense is Cohen can accuse Trump of anything. It's like irrelevant. Cohen said he never wanted to work in the White House. Of course he did. And Cohen says he refuses to say he won't profit from a book deal. By the way, he has a book deal. People are just, oh my God, they can't wait to read about Trump. And ladies and gentlemen, it's like Jeff Shepard, the amazing Kreskin Goodman. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Mitchell Smith. President Trump's speech was epic today. Like you said, H, in your previous upload, how can you not like this president? Great article in the Federalist. Thank you, Mitchell Smith, as always, for your support and for always watching. Yeah, I mean, look, he says it like it is. He tells it like it is. And he completely obliterates the groupthink on the left. The prevailing mentality is that a person like Trump shouldn't exist on the left. We can't have that. We've moved on to very deliberate and presidential people who end up destroying countries. We can't have somebody who is off the cuff and speaks his mind, because that is linked to an enabler, supremacist, and this theory and that theory. And oh my God, who are you voting for, Clinton? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I know how it goes now. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, you're voting for Clinton 2020 because she's running? Oh, okay. Mitchell Smith, thank you. Clinton's running again, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Amy Klobuchar is going to make salad eating with a comb great again? It was never great, and she's not going to make it great ever. They keep on, like with Trump, they keep on making things up. They have no evidence of anything. They were worried about Jared Kushner's security clearance based on 4 people. Based on 4 people. Garden, no, my existence is basically that. Alex Seuss, thank you. But it's like, Lennon McCarthy, hello. It's like, thank God I'm no longer on Twitter, because then I'd be like, yeah, Cpac's speech was great. How dare you? Mueller probe, Sessions, Michael Cohen, and his book is going to contradict testimony. How dare you? Oh my God. How dare you? Can you believe Michael Cohen? Like, when is he going to write it in prison? How does this even work? How on earth does this work? Vox, Trump's tweet about Michael Cohen's book deal explained. Explained from the DNC's perspective. Oh, right. I gotta read this. It's amazing. Trump is right that Cohen was shopping a book deal. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, the next sentence. It doesn't mean his congressional testimony was made up. Yeah. I love Vox. It's a fantastic, amazing publication. It's wonderful, 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 wonderful. The only thing, like I don't think they like. There's like Big Brother app for facial expressions, or like the YouTube policies. You can make facial expressions. So yeah, the Vox is a fantastic, really fantastic publication. I just love it. Okay, so he's he is Cohen's book deal explained. There's not really much to. He's shopping a book deal. The guy has a manuscript. He's going to prison. And then journalist Michael Wolff's it's amazing tell-all fire and fury. Oh, he eats Big Macs, big deal. There actually is kind of hilarious. It's just the beautiful poetry of Donald Trump. This is kind of hilarious. Wow. Does it show? Look, if it's creative, then sometimes it's funny. Like, that's funny. It's just, it's like at the end of the day, you have a speech. Like, we just need some kind. We're waiting. People are waiting for some kind of. They're waiting for some kind of news that the table has turned, and I get it. Like, I'm waiting as well. I'm waiting as well. We're all waiting. But my Federalist article, I mean, it's kind of, it relates to Cpac, even though like, oh my goodness, how does it relate to Cpac? It really does. It really does. It really does relate to Cpac. What he did today is exactly what, like, Trump is not the type of guy to be like, frankly, my dear, I have enough of her emails. When he said that, it was like all the air out of the sails. Like, no, Bernie, you have to win. You have to explain that she did commit criminal acts, and that you're going to be voting for someone who will lose because of the criminal acts. That's what happens in a campaign. You can't play this ridiculous, stupid game of, don't bring it up because conservatives bring it up. So what? If conservatives or if Putin said drink water and breathe air, what would you do? Anything that Democrats do, anything that Trump does, Democrats, like, the only thing they want to do is just the opposite. That's it. Oh my God. Lordy. No. I don't partake in any. I think marijuana should be legal on a federal level, but I do not partake myself. So Clinton's running again. Tell everyone you know. Tell everyone you know Clinton's running again. And just love the sheer terror and they're like, it's no, this is clickbait. Only a unifying figure can beat Trump in 2020, former Clinton advisor says. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, this was, I don't know, planned? Maybe. Do you think that a former Clinton advisor stated this today, possibly as part of a strategy? And when she announces, because look, she has all of 2019, she can announce a month before the primary. She can announce like this summer. Bernie Sanders announced the summer of 2015. She's got April, May, June, July, August. She can then announce. And I'm telling you, it'll be me. You want me? Really? You want me to unify everyone? Oh. Bernie raised $10 million so far. That's like Hillary raised $1.2 billion. Billion. She had a $375,000 a plate Hollywood function. Do you have $375,000 or $340,000 to waste? Do you have $340,000 to waste sitting next to Hillary and longtime Clinton advisor guarantees? Oh, this is November 12th. Longtime Clinton advisor guarantees Hillary will run in 2020. Get ready for Hillary Clinton 4.0. More than 30 years in the making, this new version of Mrs. Clinton, when she runs for president in 2020, will come full circle. Back to universal health care, promoting progressive firebrand of 1994, wrote Mark Penn. This is in the Wall Street Journal just a couple of months back. This is yet another thing I'll be right about. I only say that because there are people who are like, you never get anything right. I'm like, yeah, well, actually, most of the things I say happen, but whatever. And I love this. This is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez goes after moderate Democrats, but that only helps the establishment. That only helps the establishment because you need to be able to vote. You need to be able to vote your conscience, or, that can also work against progressives, but whatever. She's on a winning streak. Let's not, end the winning streak. Rather than casting herself as a moderate to win over Midwestern Democrats who defected for Trump, Penn and Stein argue Clinton should run as a hard left partisan. Well, she will run. Wow. Wow. Hillary Clinton hinting at 2020 run. These are all within the last year. Sorry. Clinton unifying Democrats one election at a time. Only a unifying figure can beat Trump 2020, Clinton advisor says. I imagine by the time people start actually voting, what they're going to be looking for is someone that could bring the country together. Look, do you know what that means? Do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means Clinton. She's talking about Clinton. She's not talking about anyone else. When they say unifying force, they mean, hi, Lonesome Hillbilly. Thank you. Hey, man, you do excellent work. Been with you since 2016. Exactly. Free Assange. Exactly. AOC says she's not an expert on geopolitics. That's right. She literally majors in international relations. That's right. See my channel. Keep at him. Let's look at your channel. Thank you. Hi, Lonesome Hillbilly. Thank you so very, very much. That's true. Everything you said is true. Awesome. Very awesome. Very cool. I will check it out. This is cool. Hi, Lonesome Hillbilly. Thank you. I'm looking at your channel right now. Everyone, check out Hi, Lonesome Hillbilly's channel. This is awesome. Thank you very much, Hi, Lonesome Hillbilly. Thank you. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you as always for watching. And Clinton is going to be a unifying force. What does that mean? That means that that's kind of another way of saying, well, you don't want extremes. Bernie Sanders is too extreme. Warren is too extreme. If you want foreign policy, if foreign policy is the most important issue for you, then you vote in. If you voted Bernie in 2016, then there's a case to be made to vote for Trump in 2020. So that's, if people say, well, how did he go from Bernie to Trump? That's one way, and I explain in the article. I explain. So this is Jennifer Palmieri. Hi, Lonesome Hillbilly. Thank you. Thank you again. I imagine by the time people start actually voting, what they're going to be looking for is someone that could bring the country together. Either that's the kind of nominee we're going to have or we're going to lose, meaning who can bring the Democratic Party together. The press equates enthusiasm and interest on the Democratic side with ideological extremism, and those two things I don't think go together. This is so obvious. She's running again. I keep saying she's running again. I've been saying it in 2017. I said she was running again. That's why one person who disagrees with me said, "Oh, you used that article to cite your argument." No, I didn't. That's just one example of me calling something years before. But she's running again. You think 2 years we've heard that the Russians stole it from her, which they didn't? Do you think the Russians cared about Clinton? They got 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. They're worried about Facebook. They're worried about Clinton? Really? The press equates enthusiasm and interest on the Democratic side with ideological extremism. And those two things I don't think go together. Well, that makes no sense what she said, but there you go. There you go. What she's saying is pretty simple to see. What she is saying, ladies and gentlemen, is you can't be too extreme. You have to be just right and just like Clinton. And everyone, mark my words, everyone's saying that they hate Clinton. Oh, believe me, they're going to love Clinton. They're going to love Clinton and they'll vote for her. But you have Bernie Sanders running today. You have Cpac today. You have a lot of things going on. Thank you, Ram Lafara. Thank you. You have a lot of things going on, everyone. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great month. March is going to be an amazing month. It's going to be an amazing month in terms of I think Trump kind of knows this because he wouldn't have used the words that he used today. And she never says, I will not run. It's always either the present tense or have not or. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Cpac, like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Okay, so let's just really quickly, well, if you lasted this long, I appreciate it. They're trying to take you out with you know what. President Trump over 2-hour speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference Saturday accused FBI Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team of trying to take him out with, and he said that Mueller tried to get a job with him, which is true. Mueller, this is like very bizarre. So Mueller tried to he wanted to become FBI director. Trump interviewed Mueller for FBI director. I mean, this is absurd. This is absurd. He has security clearance. He knows what's going on. Former FBI chief. He knows exactly what's going on. And they're like, well, he's a Republican. It's like, no, he's not a Republican. Well, whatever. He's an establishment Republican. Trump accuses his opponents of moving away from a narrative of Russian collusion as Mueller prepares to file his report on the investigation into Russian interference. And Russia did not interfere. There's zero evidence of that. All we have is intelligence reports that have nothing to. They're not even certain. They're based on CrowdStrike and a Steele dossier. And so it's intelligence reports based on information purchased by Democrats, not to be trusted. Unfortunately, you put the wrong people in a couple positions and they leave people for a long time that shouldn't be there. And all of a sudden, they're trying to take you out with collusion delusion. And he needs to do more of this. He needs to do more of this. There has to be more of this. There has to be more. He just met with Kim Jong-un the other day. It's like, just because it didn't lead to, yet another breakthrough, which just meeting him is a breakthrough. But yeah, it had to end. It ended prematurely, but that's okay. That's okay because you're negotiating. And sometimes in negotiations, you have to end things prematurely. Trump's remark comes just days after former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen testified to House committee. It was the most nonsensical. Nobody learned anything from the testimony. Nobody learned anything from the testimony. It was just accusations. So what? So what? You actually had money flowing into the Clinton Foundation from Uranium One. Clinton did transfer top secret intelligence outside of the U.S. You have all of this information. And then he said, I like the Green New Deal. I respect it greatly. By the way, my other article in the Federalist is about the Green New Deal and how it would rely on the mining of cobalt and lithium and nickel, how it would hurt people in the Congo. The mining of cobalt is a very dangerous endeavor, leads to environmental pollution, human suffering. How the Green New Deal would exploit poverty-stricken people across the globe. Check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, definitely check out my upload because I'm all over the place on my live streams. But check out my upload prior to this regarding Cpac. Trump last Jeff Sessions and Mueller probe ties to Democrats in brilliant Cpac speech. Check that out. Share that everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back a little later, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And to my super chat, thank you so very much. Lenny McCarthy, thank you. Freedom Autopsy, thank you. Everyone, thank you so very much. I'll be back a little later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday evening. Thank you.